What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's Mark Solis here with the Mad Church Disease Channel. What's up, everybody? Let me see if I can turn this light on here a little bit. Let's get that light going. All right, that'll help out there. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all so much for joining me for the Mad Church Disease podcast. Listen, I'm not even about to try and act like I'm prepared because I've been so busy and it's so hot because some of y'all may not know my AC has went kaput and they're working on getting that fixed. And they got to get a part and some other stuff. So, but anyway, it's hot. It's really hot. Yesterday, I didn't even go live because I had a headache, but a whole nother story. That was a bad headache. So you know, of course, tonight we're going to be talking about um, the scam of David E. Taylor, the housing allowance scandal. This is part two to our other video that we did. So if you missed part one, you're going to have to go back and watch part one. I'm going to give you guys somewhat of a summary. I had two videos that I wanted to show you, but apparently I went back to find those today and could not find them. And so I'm probably going to have to show you guys those videos on Sunday. So I'll have a good video for you on Sunday there. And I'm going to rest on Saturday and Sunday, even though I'll put some videos on the channel. But, those videos, I done found the richest pastor. They're saying who's the richest pastor in the world. Yeah, he's supposed to be the richest pastor in the world. This dude's housing thing. He bought a $16 million like riverfront, lakefront property. It's in the Porsche building. In order for you to live in this building, you have to drive I guess a Porsche, and it has its own elevator that brings your car into the high-rise building and parks it inside of your condominium. So if you're on the 55th floor, it brings your car all the way up to the 55th floor. I'm not making this up. And it parks your car in the 55th floor, like, kind of like those vending machines, the car vending machines. I said, oh my God, I done found them. But we'll talk about that on Sunday. And I promise I'm gonna try to get that video for y'all, because that was my plan. And I'm trying to clean my glasses. I don't know why my glasses. It's like the more I clean them, the dirtier they're getting. I must need to use my other stuff. Wearing glasses. I tell you, Jesus. And I'm sitting here trying to fix these darn glasses. But what's up, everybody? Shout out to all of the members. Shout out to all of the folks that are in the chat. Shout out to just everybody that is watching. If you could be so kind as to please hit the like button, I would really be appreciative of that. So tonight is going to be a little bit information heavy. I don't have the videos that I wanted to show you because, of course, like I said, I've been distracted, been very distracted. But if you're new here to this channel, please make sure that you hit the like button. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you are new here and you want to keep up with all things Mad Church Disease, you'll want to subscribe to our newsletter. The moderators, of course, will put that information down in the chat for you, so that way you can grab a hold of that information and you'll be able to do that as well. So thank y'all so very much for doing that. Now, I am going to ask tonight. I don't normally ask and have not asked you guys in a very long time, but I'm going to need at least 10 of you guys tonight to support our broadcast tonight. Just do your very best. I would really appreciate it. The information for supporting the platform is on the screen. If you are a supporter of the Mad Church Disease podcast and you want to continue to see the work and want to continue to see us get better with the videos, please make sure that you do that. And make sure that you guys support the platform. Okay, our main way of supporting the platform is through Cash App, which is $ Mad Church Disease. Please make sure that you support the platform tonight and do the very best that you can. All right, I would have really appreciated everybody, because I am working really hard, and you guys know I've been putting out video after video, and so I want to make sure that we're able to go ahead and continue to do the work that we do. Now, this wasn't on the program tonight, but since I had talked to you guys and told you guys this story, y'all remember the lady who founded Uncle was, created Uncle Nearest. And apparently there's been a conservatorship that has been added onto the company. And pretty much the conservator is in control of the company at this time. The judge saw fit to put the conservator that she wanted in charge. So it was her conservator that they were able to use. But the conservator pretty much has complete control of the company. And I mean, almost like all the assets. I saw another video earlier this week where they were talking about it. And pretty much all of the assets for Uncle Nearest are being controlled now by a conservator. So y'all make sure y'all be paying attention to that, because to me, I just feel like either she just made some terribly bad decisions, or I just think we're seeing a huge hostile takeover of a company. And so, yeah. So that's really interesting for me anyway. So I just wanted to give y'all that update. So that way y'all would have that. So y'all make sure y'all, keep up to date with that information. All right, everybody. So thank y'all for being here. Rita, thank you for being here. K Rich, thank you so much. Shavella, thank you so much. Tara, G Stewart as well. Moni No Love, of course. Thank you. April Echoes, thank you so very much. Gerald, who happens to be a member. I know Gerald's going to be working on that. Good evening to you, sir. Sister Bay, Tara as well. Tara, I don't know what be going on with that. MS Ward, good to see you here as well. Pat Smith, as well as that. So I want to thank all of you guys that are here with me. Now, I want you guys to consider renewing your membership this month. That's the way that we primarily sustain the channel and make sure that we are doing the work that we need to do, everybody. So I appreciate y'all doing that, especially for those of you that want to be a blessing and support the Mad Church Disease platform. Hold on just a minute. I'm kind of doing some work here. I don't know. I told y'all I wasn't really as prepared as I normally am, but y'all, we got time tonight. I mean, we ain't got nothing else to do. At least I ain't got nothing else to do but go downstairs and eat. I'm serious. That's all I got to do, because I ain't had nothing to eat. And I ain't had nothing to eat. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing when we get up off of this here live. I'm gonna be going to get me something to eat. All right. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna be doing. And tonight's dinner is salad, of course. So that's what my dinner is, and I appreciate that. All right. Shout out to all of you that have just been gifted a membership. So shout out to the 5 individuals that just got a membership. What's up, Jonathan? Good to have you with us tonight as well. If you were one of the 5 people that were able to get a gifted membership, just let me know. Okay. Fandu, okay. Be woke. All right, I see you. GG Abbott TV just got a gifted membership. Key H just got a gifted membership. So thank y'all so very much for all of y'all support, and y'all please make sure that y'all support the channel and consider renewing your membership. Now here's the thing. Can y'all hear this swamp cooler, by the way? Because I got this thing like right next to me. Y'all probably can't even see that my clothes is thank you, Constance, for becoming a new member. I appreciate that. Shout out to Constance. Shout out to Constance. That's what I'm talking about, Constance. Shout out to Constance. And all of you that got your membership, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of y'all. What's up, Daryl? All right, everybody. Let me give y'all a brief recap of what's going on with this. The last I checked, believe it or not, I called JMMI ministers. Well, I didn't call. Someone I knew called. Sarah called. And Sarah was asking questions over there. And they still answering the phone over there with David E. Taylor and the new JMMI stuff over there. They still answering the phone, y'all. taking prayer requests, and getting information, which I'm soon. What I was surprised by, they didn't ask for a donation, which was a surprise. Um, I can't remember if they asked for a donation. Yes, Sarah back in action. Sarah called, not me. Sarah called. So when Sarah called, it was an interesting situation, you all. But Sarah did a great job, Moni. Sarah did a great job. Um, but it was very, very interesting, and they are still in full swing, in full business. But let me just slow down. Let me slow down because I really want to relax and enjoy this live tonight. And I might end up being live tomorrow too, and maybe for the rest of the week. I don't know. I just want to relax. Let me relax. I'm not gonna put no pressure on myself. But yeah, that phone call, Moni, was a trip. People still answering the phone. He in jail, and folks is still over there answering the phone. Answering the phone. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And you know what? Tonight we might make this live a little bit more interactive. I'm probably going to drop the link early in case anybody want to come up and say anything. Oh, I know. Now, Moni, see, here's the thing. Because somebody else, before we went live, somebody else contacted me. Y'all know I'm goofy. They were like, Marcellus, we supposed to be raptured. We were supposed to be raptured. I just was laughing, doing the same thing I'm doing here because now there's a new guy on the scene. Now, there used to be another guy on the scene who was famous for years and years and years and years who was predicting the rapture. His name was Charles Campen. Now, Charles Campen done died. He didn't even make it in the rapture. He died. He's resting in Jesus. But there's a new man out here now talking about that we all supposed to be raptured and all this other stuff on specific day, even though the Bible says no man knows the day nor the hour when the Son of Man shall appear. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. We know what the Bible actually says, but it's just hilarious. Just hilarious. Yeah, well, I think you might be right, Gerald Crazy. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's always somebody predicting what we about to get up out of here. We about to get up out of here. That's what they all saying. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's so many things I want to talk about, but I'm gonna stick to the subject today, and then we'll go ham on Thursday. Because I'm sure you probably as tired of Charlie Kirk as I am. Y'all tired of Charlie Kirk? I know I am. I know I'm really tired of people trying to gaslight me and make me think that I'm crazy. But some of the stuff that I said to you all in my other video, I'm now starting to hear other people say it, which I'm really grateful for. And I heard some other, intelligent people talk about it. That's right, Tanisha. With all my heart, I love you, baby. Stay with me. Cause I believe I'm in love. Sweet love. Oh, that's the wrong song. I'm sorry. That's the wrong song. Wait a minute. Flashbacks of the times we've had. I'm saying the wrong song. I forgot that freaking song. I literally forgot that song. You know why I forget the song though? For real, for real. I love Anita Baker, but you can't stream none of her music on nothing. Because her ex-husband gets all the money, so she took all her music is very limited streaming that you can get on the platforms. But yeah, that's so funny, and I literally heard her say that. I'm really sick of Charlie Kirk, and I'm really gonna deal with Charlie Kirk in a different way in my next commentary about it. Right, I'm with you. Now, I told y'all the reason why I didn't go live yesterday, you all, I had a heat headache. Anybody in here ever had a heat headache? It was so hot in here yesterday. It was so hot, I had a headache. And I mean, it was bad. I heard that. Talisha say when Bishop Jake said he was announcing he was preaching, everybody should have known. I heard that. I heard that. I know that's right. Okay, Rich, I was singing the wrong song. I don't even know what I was singing. But you know, one of my favorite songs on that album, you want to know one of my favorite songs on that album was Mystery. I won't be neglected. Y'all remember that song? I won't be denied the pleasure of your kisses, the pleasure of your smile. I think you take for granted that I will always be here. But just because I love you doesn't mean I won't disappear. Been so long, I'm missing you, baby. That's one of my favorite songs on that whole album, believe it or not. Uh, yeah, but Mystery, I keep getting all the words wrong to the songs that I most like. That's because I don't listen to them as much anymore. But that's one of my songs. Been So Long is actually one of my favorites too. But anyway, but yeah. But I've been, busy working on some stuff, y'all. I know. Didn't you just hear me say because I don't listen to it as much anymore? That's crazy. That's so funny. I have so many songs in my head, K Rich, that I can't remember every darn song. But if you sing it or start it, I bet you I can finish it. I bet you that. I bet you that. But anyway, you all, let's get in. Let's get started with tonight, the scam of David E. Taylor. And I want to give you guys a brief recap of some of the things that we covered on our last episode of this. I'm going to be really quick with this. We talked about the 501c3, it being an IRS designation for nonprofit organizations that are tax exempt. We talked about donations for religious organizations. Churches are a special subset of the 501c3. They have a different set of laws and they get unique treatment if they are a subset or a church. Okay. We also talked about churches do not have to apply or formally for a 501c3. The only reason why churches apply for a 501c3 if they would like to keep their donor base confident and they do not want to share donor information. All right. Also, we talked about the fact that there's limited IRS oversight. Okay, we talked about that as well. They also do not have they do not have a 990 requirement. They do not have to file a public form 990. That means no public disclosure of salaries, governance, or major expenditures. We focused on the parsonage, the housing allowance, and we spoke about that. I showed you guys 2 videos in part number 1. You might want to go back and look at that, and there should be a link down in the description for you for part 1 so that you can take a look at that. We talked about the fact that in the law it's written as far as reasonable and customary. So that was the other part of that as well. We talked about the excess benefit transactions. We also talked about, how the law is written as far as reasonable. That's still sort of up in the air and we don't really know what reasonable means. So they sort of just make that up as they go along. We talked about the housing allowance is a large tax-free allowance approved by the board, sized to help with the home furnishings, utilities, upkeep of the house, etc., etc. Whereas you're paying for all the upkeep in your house, the pastor is normally if he's living in a parsonage, he can get all the upkeep of the house pretty much taken care of by the church. Okay. The church owned assets with personal use. We talked about that. That's when they come in with travel, jets, and all of that other stuff. Even high-end vehicles. Y'all remember David E. Taylor? David E. Taylor had stretch limousines and all of that kind of stuff. And all of that stuff was covered under the ministry, blah, blah, blah. All right. We talked about the royalty streams as far as books and courses and conferences and the media, that the pastor can license his image. He can license his intellectual property. So all of those audio cassettes and all of those tapes that you buy at church, a lot of times, if the pastor knows how to structure it right, he could be getting a piece of every single cassette bought and every videotape that is purchased. A portion of that could be going to the pastor. Moving right along, we talked about love offerings and honorariums. Those are payments for speaking engagement, conferences, or just love gifts that are given in church. And I told y'all that those numbers can get astronomical. Now, we also talked a little bit about the lack of transparency, about the no form 990, meaning they don't have to file that. Normally, their boards are very insular, meaning that they have their friends, their family, people who are loyal to them that are on the board. We talked about that as well. We also talked about the fact that a lot of this stuff comes with a prosperity, theologically, a prosperity theology. We'll just put it that way. A prosperity theology. Okay, get rich or die trying. That's everybody's thing that they're doing now. All right, now there's a couple of things, of course, that's not allowed. The organization's earnings cannot unduly benefit insiders. There are some abuses of that, paying above market salaries. And I even went down in video number 1 and we showed you some of the fair market salaries for individuals. So all of that was included in there as well. Also using church funds to build personal assets, things that are in your own personal name. Y'all need to understand something. They're not really abiding by the law. A lot of them, when it comes to that, they are not abiding by the law when it comes to that. A lot of them are not. Thank y'all. Oh, I had to go get my thermos. Because when the AC need help, you need to cool off. All right. Political campaign activities. Churches cannot endorse or impose candidates. Although I told you Donald Trump signed something into law saying now churches can endorse political candidates. And the reason why they're doing that. What up, Regina? Juice Radio. Thank you for joining us. The only reason why a lot of these guys are doing that and want to do that is because they know typically so-called Christians are going to lean on the right or Republican side of things. And that's why they're doing that. Moving right on. There are legal protections and audit barriers for churches. It is very, very difficult for you to get in there and actually audit them. We talked about that. All right. Now let's talk about here. How do you evaluate a specific church or pastor? Let's get into this. Now, the number one way that you have to audit a preacher or a pastor or a church is through an independent, verifiable source. It should not be done in-house, okay? So you have to look for somebody who can do some independent governance outside of the institutional church. That is, to me, the best way to do it. Okay, if you're getting the board or somebody that's on the board to audit the church, you're typically going to have a very skewed situation. Y'all excuse me while I grease up the lips here. So you need to be careful about that. All right. Compensation transparency. Does the church voluntarily disclose pay, their perks, or use third-party compensation studies? Okay. Are they being audited by certain websites and things which will go in and take a look at the pastor's salary and how people are conducting their organization? That stuff becomes very crucial, in my opinion, as far as making sure that you don't get into the David E. Taylor type situation. The reason why David E. Taylor was in the mess that he was in is simply because there was no transparency. There's absolutely no transparency going on over there. And that's the main reason why that man is in all the trouble he's in. All right, let me see here. I don't know what's going on there. Should I turn this other light down? All right, no, I'm gonna leave it. I ain't got time today. All right. All right, guys. It's 98 of you guys here. No, it's more than that, actually. Can y'all please hit the like button for me, please? I'd really appreciate it. That would just help me move along so I don't have to stop a lot and ask y'all to hit the like button. It just becomes kind of crucial. So can you take that opportunity and hit the like button for me? Thank y'all so much. All right. So, the asset ownership are homes, cars, jets owned by the church. If so, are there clear policies for personal versus ministry use? They need to also understand and be audited whether or not they're using these things for their personal use or they're using it for the ministry. Because a lot of time, a lot of these preachers are driving around and they're inside of these Rolls Royces in their normal day activities, and that have nothing to do with ministry activities. All right. Let's talk about related party transactions. Are pastors' companies selling goods, services to the church? Now, this is another thing. Now, this I need to pause right here and give y'all some, because a lot of people don't know. If your church, if you have a larger church or ministry, let's say, for instance, your pastor writes a book. Normally, what your pastor does is he writes the book in the for-profit corporation, and he sells it to the church or the ministry at wholesale prices. And this is how so many pastors and preachers become bestsellers, like the first week that they put out the book, because here's what happens. They sell the book to the church. Like, the church will buy the first 5,000 copies of the book. Now, you guys do know, if you sell 5,000 copies of your book within the first week of you publishing your book, in a lot of cases, you're going to hit a bestsellers list somewhere, either on Amazon. You're going to be on the New York Times bestseller list. You're going to be on one of those bestseller lists, okay? Because it's basically how many are you selling, and how quickly you're selling them. And the preachers are very smart. They will sell the books to the bookstore, and that's why sometimes you'll go into your church's bookstore, and your pastor has all of these books on the shelves that they can't unload. And they just continually selling the books. Okay. Also, are the contracts, they're never really looked at the contracts to see whether or not it's fair market value that they're paying for it, or if it's been approved by the board. That's another thing that becomes crucial in that situation as well. Let me go ahead and open this up so I can see this big. I don't know why I'm trying to look at this like it's so small. I did the love offerings, and okay, Well, hold on. Okay, there we go. And I went over with you guys the licensing of his name, his image, etc., etc. All right. Now, what is not allowed is paying above market salaries without any sort of support. This is how churches get into a lot of debt. Remember when I told you that's how churches get into a debt? Personal vacations, personal home renovations. The church should not be covering your pastor's personal home renovations. He needs to take the money or the salary that he gets and cover his own personal home renovations, unless he is living in a parsonage that the church owns. If the church owns the parsonage, it's a little bit of a different situation. All right. Now, and I did tell you guys why. You run into trouble with that. All right. So we did that. So let's talk a little bit about asset ownership when it comes to the 501c3. Are the homes, cars, or jets owned by the church? That you need to know that. Related party transactions. Are the pastor's company selling goods or services to the church? And are those contracts, like I said, fair market? They need to know that. You also need to know whether or not there are some audit procedures and policies in place. Does the church undergo independent financial audits? Now, let me ask y'all a question. When most of us, when we were younger and we joined the church, and we just joined it because the preacher, sounded good or he could preach good. But how often when you go to a new members class, do you raise your hand and you ask, I would like to know, does this church undergo independent financial audits, and who audits the church's finances? Could you imagine that question being asked in a new membership class? Because don't nobody answer those, and don't nobody ask those types of questions. But I mean, those things are important, you all. That's how you can make sure that your pastor ain't stealing. And if they scoff at answering the question and they give you an attitude, it'll let you know the attitude of the people who are pastoring the church. I'm just saying. Okay. Have accountability reimbursement plans been put into place? And is there a conflict of interest uh, on if things, go awry? And do they have some type of whistleblower policy in the church? Those are important questions. I know y'all never thought about this for church. Let me just say this, and I'm going to pause right here. When the church folk revolution used to do what I'm doing right now and talk to people about children's church, and we lined up for children's church policies and procedures and things that were not done in the institutional church until 14, 15 years ago, when we were telling people that the people that um are watching your children should go through a background check. And people thought we were crazy for saying things like that. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Could you imagine what would happen if people came into church and joined and in new membership class asked, are there financial audits here at this church? And are they independent? And who does those audits? And start taking some notes. Now, if they would ask you, well, why do you want to know that? Excuse me, this is new members. I'm a member now, and this is important information for members to know. Is there a financial audit that takes place here, and who financially audits the church? I would want to know that, especially if I'm gonna get my money. Me personally, I'm just saying. Walking in Love says a lady came to her church. They asked a question. She asked a question and they dismissed her. My God, from Zion. That lets you know right then and there you don't want to be no part of that church. I don't want to be nowhere where I ask a question in new members about being where the money goes and you just dismiss me. No, ma'am, no, sir. See you later. Absolutely, Moni. Absolutely. And I think that is very crucial. Gerald. Very true, Gerald. Very, very true. Very, very true. All right, let's continue. All right. Let me see. I don't know. As for financials, while the church doesn't file a 990, many will share audited statements or summaries. Okay, so that's really interesting. Also, you're able to mark, and comprehend the pattern of spending. What's up, April J? Frequent luxury travel, high-end purchases, or heavy promotion on the pastor's personal products using the church's platforms can be a red flag for you. Okay, all right. You need to check the ECFA. What's the ECFA? The Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability. They normally set a lot of standards for a lot of these evangelical churches. It's called ECFA, okay? The Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability. All right. So now there are some state charity regulators that you can also look into as well. Now, if you've seen some sort of discrepancy or some whistleblowing situation, you can submit an IRS form. And you can file a complaint. The IRS form is 13909. It's for tax exempt organization complaint. You can file that form. So if there's any shenanigans that you feel is being done with a nonprofit, if you feel like somebody is spending the money all willy-nilly, this goes for anybody. You can fill out this form, 13909, and file that with the IRS. All right. And you can also, of course, vote with your wallet. All right. So let me just go over this. The 501c3 status prohibits private enrichment of any one person, but reasonable compensation is allowed. The biggest enablers to this are 990 no disclosure forms, which I think that housing allowance is ridiculous. Some of the related party deals, the boards, all of that is enablers to that situation. And true abusers can be penalized. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the laws that went into effect to affect this, because this is the fascinating part. Okay. For me, you guys know, if you don't know, one of my favorite channels is the Law and Crime Network. Now, and another one of my favorite channels on YouTube, you guys, is a channel called Just Thought Lounge. So if you've never watched Just Thought Lounge, you guys should look that up on YouTube. It's really good. It goes over all of the cases and like crime drama and who did it stuff. All right, so let me talk a little bit about what cases, landmark cases, have changed the 501c3 and made a difference in how the 501c3, all right, is done. Okay, so if you're coming by this video and you're watching the replay, this is sort of to give you an understanding of the 501c3. You may need to go back and watch the first video that I did on the 501c3, but I want to get into a little bit of, what laws actually affected and had some landmark cases. So buckle up, because this is probably going to be really, really informative. Very, very informative. Welcome to the Mad Church Disease Channel, a channel dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Want to stay connected to me and the Mad Church Disease community? Well, then join our email community newsletter. Stay in the know with all the updates and fresh content that is created for this channel. It's time you join the private community for the revolutionary family, where we can talk and laugh all in a space that's safe with a no judgment zone. Connect with other members and build lasting friendships. The doors are now open. Want to stay connected and be notified each time I go live? Subscribe to the text community and be notified each time that we go live. Simply add your details for instant updates on all our lives. Are you a budding YouTuber or business professional who would like my thoughts on all things business related? Book a free 15-minute consultation where I can help with social media, YouTube, web design, and so much more. Book your consultation now and build your future. Get away from the rat race and build your business. All right, everybody, thank you so very much. And if you are looking to start a YouTube channel and you would like to know how to do that and to consistently see growth over time, I have a complete system that I have developed that has worked for channel after channel after channel. I don't, of course, do all the work for you, but if you follow the steps and the things that I've shown you and give to you, it just works. It's just that simple. I don't even have nothing else to say. Now, I will be having a class coming up soon. This is the one class a year that I teach this information. I will not be teaching this another class this year at all. So this will be the one time this year that I teach the class, and I'll be talking to you guys some more about that in some coming videos. So just book your consultation if you would like some help with that. All right, now let's go on. Here we go. In 1954, the Johnson Amendment, Congress amended the Internal Revenue Code, the 501c3, to prohibit political campaign activity. Although under Donald Trump, they have pretty much reversed that decision. They put that actually into effect. Donald Trump signed some stupid law, and so they actually can now participate in that. Now, April, if you need a prophetic word, I charge $495 for 50-minute prophetic word, because I am so specific with my prophetic words that I charge $495. Okay. I'm specific. No, I'm playing. All right, here we go. 1969, the Tax Reform Act expanded private foundation rules and private benefit concepts to shape how nonprofits must avoid enriching their insiders. Okay, now in 1996, now I want y'all to see from 1994, 1969, and all the way up until 1996, there were no adjustments made. But in 1996, church audit procedures changed. Okay, it was a part of the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. They raised the bar for how the IRS can initiate church examinations. In 1996, this is what required the higher level of expectation or criteria in order for you to go after and really audit a church. That didn't go into play until 1996. Now, I'm going to tell you, in my humble opinion, why that was. Because in the 1990s, all we saw was the government getting into bed with churches. Oh, how do I say this? I just feel like the government and the way that the church operates, they operate very, very similar. A lack of transparency. You can't really audit these people the way they need to be audited. And then once they get in there, it's very hard to get them out. They do. They work the same way. All right. And they had in 1996 some intermediate sanctions created the excise tax or the excess benefit transaction tax with public charities, including churches. And that's legislation, not litigation. All right. In 2017, the TCJA housing allowance, they resolved that in court later. The Congress did not remove the minister's housing allowance, but the law's broader changes prompted renewed scrutiny. So what happened in 2017, there was a preacher who actually went to court because of the housing allowance. And because he went to court regarding that housing allowance, the government expanded the housing allowance in order for this preacher or pastor to stay in his house. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's amazing. Now, this is another case. In 1983, Bob Jones University versus the United States, the Supreme Court held that organizations violating fundamental public policies, race discrimination, could not qualify for the 501c3, even if they are religious. This doesn't rewrite the statute, but clarified the limits on the exemption. So in 1983, ladies and gentlemen, if you were violating and discriminating against race, the scriptures, well, not the scripture, but the law said that you could not qualify for 501c3. Now, here's a question that I want to ask. Oh, God, this is why I'm going to get into trouble. When I look at a lot of these people out here now that are saying that they're holding political organizations or they got spiritual organizations, i.e. Charlie Kirk, a lot of these people are doing this amongst race. And this white nationalist Christianity that we have, that's trying to get a foothold in America, that's to me something that needs to be looked at as well. In 1989, Hernandez versus Commissioner upheld that certain payments to a church, and this was because of Scientology, were not charitable. And here are the fees that they said. If you're paying any sort of training fees, if they've got you paying any sort of auditing fees, you know how these churches, sometimes you go to these so-called trainings and all of this stuff. If they're charging you for that, according to Hernandez versus Commissioner in 1989, you cannot be charging a person a training fee and not have that become taxable. Now, here's what a lot of the churches are doing to get around that. They say, oh, you're paying this fee, but it's a donation, but you can't get in without your donation. But you're not supposed to be paying any fees whatsoever for training and all of that crap. Just so you know, you can't charge a person for training and write it off your taxes and claim that to be tax-free if you're a church. The Freedom from Religion Foundation versus Lou/Gaithner. This was later dismissed. It took them all the way until 2014. They dismissed it for standing. Later challenge succeeded in a district level court. The minister's housing allowance under IRC was struck down by a district court. So they rejected the housing allowance when they looked at it, but the 7th Circuit Court vacated it on standing. And I know this might seem some boring to some of y'all, but this is information that you do need to know. Again, they struck it down. So that's something that you need to know as well. Let me put this in the chat so y'all will know what case this is, because I might not have pronounced that name right. Here, let me give y'all this, because that's in my notes. All right, so that's that. And that was in 2014 that they dismissed that. Now, the United States versus Living Word Christian Center addressed the high-level approval requirement for church examinations. The IRS lost on procedural grounds, underscoring the hurdles for churches. And that didn't happen till 2011. Now, this might have been a part of when, I don't think so, but it might have been when Senator Grassley actually went after some of these evangelical churches. And that was in 2011 that happened. Now, you guys will be surprised, and you're going to know this name that I'm about to call. In 1990, Jimmy Swaggart Ministries, the man who just died, Jimmy Swaggart sued the Board of Equalization. In 1990. He sued them, and he sued them uh, because of sales tax and the use of taxes can apply to religious organizations. And so it was a sales tax thing, because they sell a whole bunch of stuff in churches and they don't pay taxes on it. So the Board of Equalization came after Jimmy Swaggart and told Jimmy Swaggart that y'all needed to pay taxes on all of this stuff y'all selling, and the government shot them down and said no, they don't need to pay taxes on the stuff that they sell. I'm just showing you the cases. All right, let me give you now this is another case. This was in 2019. I just love doing this kind of stuff. Gaylor versus Mnuchin. I'm probably not saying his name right, but he was a senator. So that was the next case, that they were rethinking the pastor's tax-free housing allowance. This housing allowance thing has been going back and forth with the government for quite a long time, you all. And so that's that. Now, let me give you another case that most of you will be familiar with. Dr. Gene Scott sued primarily the government attempted, especially the Federal Communications Commission and the IRS, to force his church to disclose the confidential donor information. So if you guys remember Dr. Gene Scott, I talked to you guys a lot about the man with the cigar. Y'all remember Dr. Gene Scott? If you don't remember who Dr. Gene Scott is, that was the white man who died. But he had a landmark case against the government as well. And he sued them because they were actually trying to come after his donor information. Now, he fought this for over 10 years, from 1977 until 1989. Okay. So he did not even release the records at all. Okay. And according to the situation here, he actually won the case and did not have to do it at all. Okay. So those are the landmark cases pretty much that have shaped the 501c3 laws in the United States at this particular time. So all of the people that I mentioned, those are the ones that have affected the law. Okay. Now, you got some televangelists like, what's his name? Copeland, Joyce Meyer, Creflo Dollar. All of those guys have been sent letters from Congress and senators, trying to get financial disclosures. They told them people no. But I kind of anticipate whoever gets into the office next, there's going to be some changes to this, because this housing allowance thing has gotten way out of control. I'm going to show you guys on Sunday. You won't believe what I show you on Sunday. You're just not going to believe it. When you guys see this man's home, this preacher's house, and he has a car elevator. He brings his car up, he drives his car into it. It lifts his car up all the way up into his high-rise apartment. He can be sitting in his living room looking at his car. I kid you not. And I'm mad because those videos I really wanted to show you guys tonight to kind of hone in on that particular fact, because that's really, really key to understanding this law. All right. Now, I definitely believe that the IRS should make sure they make some changes. Now, what's going to happen to David E. Taylor? First of all, David E. Taylor is going to go. He's going to stay in jail because apparently, you all, they don't have any money. Yeah, pretty much, Gerald. Absolutely. And I'm dropping the link in case anybody has any questions or you want to discuss it. But let me tell you something, Gerald. The government is the hindrance right now to this law being changed. And until somebody can step in and make some differences in regard to this, you're absolutely correct. It's like a horrible episode of John Wick. Now that's a good analogy. That's a real good analogy. That's an excellent analogy, Gerald. That's an excellent analogy. All right, guys, I'm going to ask everybody if y'all can, please make sure y'all support the Mad Church Disease channel tonight. That information is on the screen for you. I'm asking as many of you that can, please make sure that you do so, because I am working on some stuff, and we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff coming up, and I ain't got time to share it just yet, but I got some exciting things I'm working on, but I'm going to definitely need you guys' support to make sure that we're able to bring it to fruition. So please make sure you support the broadcast. That information is on the screen, and it will also be in the description if you're watching the replay. All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not yet subscribed to the Mad Church Disease newsletter, please make sure that you do so, because I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to be covering. And I emailed you guys yesterday, if you guys didn't see that, to let you guys know about yesterday's program, but I just got so daggum hot I couldn't even do it. I was burning up. I had a heat headache. I literally was so daggum hot. So I appreciate you guys for all of that. Now, the link has been dropped for anybody that has any questions or concerns. Please make sure that you guys move expeditiously, because you guys know I try to keep us at roughly around an hour. I kind of took too long today, but I wanted to do the recap for you, and make sure that you guys got the recap on that. And I want to send a shout out. Let me see who I can send a shout out to. Somebody send us some support here. Wait a minute. Oh, Lord Jesus. Let me get over there, because I don't know if I'm supposed to say your name or not. Let me see. Uh-oh. What happened? I don't even know what's this thing doing. Shout out to Tracy. Tracy, thank you so much for supporting the Mad Church Disease channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. And if I can get at least 9 more of y'all to help tonight, that would be great. That information is on the is in the chat for you guys, as well as on the screen. It definitely is on the screen for you guys as well, and you guys can get that information. Now let's just chat a little bit before we get on out of here tonight, because there's so many things going on. Now, did you guys hear, or maybe I should talk about that in a private chat, because I don't need no drama. Let me just say this. Let me say this. There are a lot of content creators still out here flossing and lying to the people, trying to tell everybody they so super uber rich, and just lying through their teeth. I hear some people done moved to the rough side of the town, and they faking it. They done downsized everything. Now y'all remember certain people was doing yard sales and selling off the knives, the spoons, and the forks. I done heard some stuff through the grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine. All I can tell y'all is this. Y'all need to be paying attention and really listening at what people are saying. And just because somebody can give you the appearance that they doing things does not necessarily mean they're doing stuff. And I don't want to go down and tear down anybody else's business. All I'm just going to say, y'all keep your eyes and ears open, and don't be fooled. Don't be fooled again. Okay. That's all I'm saying, but it is what it is. And I mean, when people keep applying for payday loans and loan after loan, and they keep getting denied and denied and denied. That's what I heard through the grapevine. Stop applying. That's what you ought to stop doing. And stop lying. Stop applying and stop lying. Maybe I should put that on a t-shirt, Moni. Stop applying and stop lying. All right. Because you're lying. You're lying, and you're telling the people a whole bunch of lies. I'm just saying. Well, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank y'all so much. Can y'all please make sure y'all hit the like button? I would really appreciate it. Make sure that y'all do that. Yeah, because you're broke. And you know you're broke. And you need to be telling the truth because you know you ain't telling the truth. Oh yeah, because Gerald, we wasn't on their level. Y'all ninjas ain't on my level. I'm just saying. I don't even listen. I mean, I mean. Oh, I can't wait to do a private live so I can talk. Oh, that's crazy. I say that for the members. I say that for the members. But yeah, these folks is a mess. They straight up a mess. That's all I'm gonna say. They just be lying through their teeth. Lying through their teeth. Lying through their teeth. Well, I don't see you guys moving coming up. So shout out to all of you in the chat. I appreciate every single one of y'all for supporting the Mad Church Disease channel. Y'all make sure y'all pay attention to the channel. I have new videos dropping for the rest of the week. I might even go live tomorrow. So y'all make sure because I have so much stuff to talk to you guys about. But I've been trying to, cool off actually because it's just been too much. I guess God don't play about them. I guess so. He don't play so much. He ain't studying about him either. He ain't studying them. That's the bottom line. He not studying them. But I wanted to give you guys the information for that. And I think that's kind of information heavy. And I appreciate y'all sticking around for that because I feel like the people who are going to come by and want to get some information on that, that's going to be really helpful for them. And I might put in the notes those cases that I mentioned. So if you're watching this replay, I might list the cases so that you can actually look that up in case you want to look it up. Y'all want to see if there's been any movement on the TD Jake stuff? Let me see. I'll do it live with y'all right now. Let me go over here and see. Oh, let's see if TD Jake's if Tyrone Blackburn done did anything. Hold on, let me see. Y'all ready? Let's see. Oh, this judge need to give it to Tyrone Blackburn. I don't know what they waiting on. They just wasting everybody's time. All right, y'all, hold on. Hey, I want to go to. Hold on. There we go. Log in. Shout out to all of the new members. Those of you that got your free membership, you now have the access to all of the private videos. Lord have mercy, this judge is taking their sweet time. When I say they sweet time, they taking their sweet time. It ain't even funny, they taking their sweet time. Hold on, let's see. I know Daryl Moore will be happy if I got some updates here. Let's find the case. All right, let's run it. All right, history of the documents. Let's do recent dates first. Uh-oh. You guys might be getting us exclusive. Oh, shucky ducky now. Shucky ducky quack quack. Oh, we're going to do this together. I'll have to edit this out. I'll have to edit this portion of the video. Oh, shucky ducky. Y'all ready? We got an update. Oh, Lord. It's Tyrone Blackburn's ass. Okay, wait a minute. Let me bring this up. Father and the God. This ninja done filed 105 pages. I'm not reading no 105 pages. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all know I ain't reading no 105 pages, right? Y'all know that, right? All right, let's go. This ninja, this nigga. All right, hold on. Tyrone Blackburn done filed 105 pages. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, see, this is when I wish I had Daryl Moore up here with me, because I swear this ninja. Here we go, y'all. Y'all ready? Let me go one more big. There you go, so you can see it well. Here we go. That's what I thought, Moni. That's what I thought, Moni. This ninja, I cannot with Tyrone Blackburn. Here we go. Tyrone A. Blackburn being duly sworn, depose and say, I am the former attorney of the, wait a minute. Oh, I am the former attorney for the defendant in the Thomas Dexter Jakes versus Dwayne Youngblood, ETL civil action, blah, 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 pending in the United States District Court for the Western District Court of Pennsylvania. So now he finally admits he is the former attorney. Interesting. Let's keep going on, y'all. Oh, this is funny. Okay. I submit this affidavit to bring the court's attention certain actions by the plaintiff's counsel, Mr. Dushan Poosh, which I believe constitute bad faith, intentional misrepresentation, procedural omissions, and disgusting retaliatory conduct. These actions have caused me professional and significant financial harm. Revised filings and vanguard of legal filing perfection. The official docket in this case shows that Mr. Poosh had submitted multiple errata and revised filings, evidence that he has failed to meet basic standards of care and accuracy in his court submissions. Yet Mr. Poosh seeks to present himself as though he sits at the vanguard of legal filing perfection. Now, see, here's the thing. Tyrone, just admit when you done messed up. Admit when you done messed up. Just admit when you done messed up. Now, this is just dumb. Every single time TD Jakes' attorneys have submitted this stuff to the court that you done made mistakes, they have been proven correct. Why would you come over here and say that they are they're filing as if they're the vanguard or the guard keepers of legal filing perfection? This is just ridiculous. You keep misfiling according to TD Jakes' attorney. They keep, filing the information based upon what they feel that, in good faith that they can file. And you're not winning that. You're not winning that argument, sir. You're not going to win that argument. Here we go. Mischaracterization of Fossey versus Fisher. Mr. Poosh has implied to this court that I was sanctioned in the Fossey versus Fisher for citation or quotation errors, similar to the raised ones here, an insinuation that is false. In the Fossey versus Fisher, another one of my pro bono cases, I represent an African-American woman who credibly, blah, 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 Luane Fisher of fraud, negligence, blah, 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 conversion of her $89,000 settlement. Defender Fisher, blah, 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 blah. He's going through this, so they don't mean nothing. While in the bank, blah, 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 blah. This would have been harmless error. This would have been a harmless error and a deplorable way to treat one's client, but for the fact that misfit, blah, blah, blah. See, he just bogging down the court with this bull jive, y'all. He done went through story time all over again. Listen at this, blah, blah. He hasn't told the judge nothing yet. Blah, blah, blah. The Fossey sanctions order did not rest on any errors related to citation. Now stop right there, ladies and gentlemen. He just admitted that he was sanctioned. The whole idea was he told the court that he had not been sanctioned in any other case, period, whether it had to do with AI or not AI. Sir, you're lying again. You're lying again, sir. I'm just saying, you're lying again, sir. You're lying again. What's wrong with Tyrone Blackburn? He just admitted in this the first sentence, after he done went through all of that mess, he just admitted that the falsy sanctions order did not rest on any errors to citation or quotation. It doesn't matter, sir. You said you had never been sanctioned, period. Oh my God. Instead, the court imposed a sanction because, dude, you're admitting to the fact now that you were sanctioned, and the timing of when you were sanctioned, when you, according to TD Jakes' attorney, you lied about when you had been sanctioned. Oh my God, this dude, he's a lawyer and he can't be this slow. Then he goes into the why he got sanctioned. Just blah, blah, blah. It don't matter, Ninja, you got sanctioned. He says he intended to appeal. Well, sir, you don't have no appeal to attend to if you've never been sanctioned. So you got sanctioned, sir. You got sanctioned. Duh. He said, this case came to me. I assessed it and filed on behalf of Miss Fossey. I was under no obligation to withdraw the litigation, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. He said, Mr. Poosh distorts the record and attempts to lever an intentionally deceptive comparison. That's not what he was doing, sir. He was actually saying that you had been sanctioned. You said that you had not been sanctioned at all. But okay. How do you pronounce this? Cargenia versus Dixon. Omission of key procedural facts. I notified the court of an error filing, blah, 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 blah. Although this occurred after Mr. Poosh's vexatious reporting, he failed to correct the record and update this court subsequent occurrence, blah, 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 blah. As identified earlier, Mr. Poosh is no stranger to filing errors, blah, blah, blah. Now he's blaming somebody else for their filing errors, but he won't take responsibility for his own. This is insanity. This is insanity. Blah, 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 blah. Dustin Poosh retaliatory bar complaints and the harm that they have caused. On or about June 11, Mr. Poosh filed an ethics complaint against me with the New Jersey Office of Attorney Ethics, falsely alleging that I misrepresented my DC bar admission status solely because I placed the initials DC on my letterhead. Well, I want you all to know where I come from and the work that I used to do. Even if you put it on the business card, you could run into trouble. They didn't allow you to even do that. So I'm just saying, I was sworn into the District of Columbia Bar on May 7th of 2024 by the blah, blah, blah. Here we go with that again. My bar application is pending. Well, if your bar application is pending, sir, it should not even be on your business card or on your letterhead. You just said and admitted right here that the stuff is pending. Oh my God. It's like a really bad episode of Saturday Night Live. I'm waiting for somebody to go live from New York City. My God. Oh my God, Moni, this dude is retarded. He said, I have not yet received my bar number, which means it should not be on your letterhead, dummy. Oh my God, which means you are misrepresenting the fact, in my opinion, that you are licensed to operate in DC. I'm not reading all the rest of this because this don't even require. I done told y'all this guy's slow. This guy's slow. This guy's slow. Blah, 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 blah. He said this rule authorizes limited practice for 365 days with the possibility of extension for good cause. But yeah, that's probably once they institute the 365 days. You haven't gotten that started yet. Duh. Oh my God, this is dumb. Mr. Poosh's claims that I have either practiced or improperly held myself out as a licensed practitioner. Oh my God. It doesn't matter if you've never filed, dummy. You done put it on your letterhead. It's on your letterhead. Oh my God. Oh, he is. This is not gonna work. I ain't reading all this. Blah blah. Mr. Pooch. Blah blah. Because of the bar grievances, I have incurred substantial expense in retaining ethics counsel and have devoted significant time, blah, 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 blah. Mr. Pooch's conduct in D.C. and New Jersey, blah, 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 which provides as professional misconduct for a lawyer to engage, blah, blah, blah. The impact of these complaints is not only financial, but also reputational and professional. They have imposed a heavy burden on my practice. What practice? Your living room law firm? What practice? And have you given the judge that the $70,000 to the attorneys that you owe? That's what I want to know. Then he talking about his corrective and ongoing efforts. Notice that's 2 sentences. Request for relief. He's requesting relief. He wants the court to take judicial notice of the foregoing facts, discredit any arguments, blah, 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 blah. Mr. Pooch's pattern of bad faith filings. He don't have a pattern, but you do, in my opinion, sir. You do. Da, 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 da. Then he says it's known to be meritless and baseless. I'm not reading all of this. I'm just not. Because we all know where this is heading. Y'all remember when I told y'all before that all of his stuff was stupid and he was going to get hit with them fees? And we read all of that. He got hit with them fees. I'm not reading all of this because I'm telling you right now, he going to get hit with some fees. And there he go quoting another case. We don't even know if this case is real. We don't even know. We talking about Tyrone Blackburn here. Oh my God. He said because of Mr. Pooch's malicious bar complaint, he's had to spend thousands of dollars to retain ethics counsel to defend baseless, unauthorized practice of law. Oh my God. Oh my God, you all. Oh my God. And that is the document. Then y'all know he goes into all of these law. He got 105 pages total. Now we all know he ain't very good at this part, and I'm not gonna be reading this part. Ashando Labobo, not me. I'm not gonna be reading that part. Y'all know that. Amen. Bless the name of the Lord Jesus. That is the update. Tyrone Blackburn's at it again, ladies and gentlemen. He's begging the judge for mercy. He's going after the other attorney because he feels like he deserved it. It is, isn't it? Oh my God. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied, Tara. You ain't never lied, Tara. And I'm going back because I don't want all 105 of these. I don't want them to charge me for 105 of these. Did they already charge me for them? Lord, let me view the document. I think they done already charged me for it. Oh, Lord. Somebody go on and send me some support to this darn channel. Because y'all know every time I download these documents cost money. Lord have mercy. They done already got me. So let me just go on and take it. Which number was this? Number 70? Oh, anybody remember what number this was? Downloads, I believe. Oh no, yeah, number 70. This is number 70. Okay, let me get out of that. God bless y'all. I'll edit this part. Lord have mercy. Yeah. What's 105 pages? Just so you know, 105 pages of this particular document. That don't count all the rest of them. All right, you all. I appreciate all of your support. Thank y'all so much. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Tyrone Blackburn is gonna pay these darn fines and fees, and he may as well just get over himself. He gonna have to pay, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad he gonna have to pay because he just wasting the court's time. He's wasting your time and my time. And as you can see, I don't want to read these ninjas papers no more because we all know where this is going. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.